Hello everyone, it's Tonya with Scribbles in Time. I am going to do a flip through today of my latest journal, and you'll see if you've watched any of my previous videos, this is very out of character for what my normal style is. And I did actually film a video of kind of the before several weeks ago, but it was back before my surgery. It was just something I was talking about, planning to do a future project, but at that time I was still trying to tackle journals that were you know, for people on my list, and that are the typical style of what I normally make. And I've had to kind of put those on hold because I can't sit at my work table. When I work on those journals, I have to be here at my work table because of the way I have my drawers and my desk organized. And right now with the blood clot that I have going on in my leg, which by the way I am doing so much better, but with the blood clot I have in my leg, my work table is high. It was my father-in-law's workbench, and he passed away several years ago, and so I inherited his workbench, and it's my work table, and I sit on this tall leather bar stool at this work table, but my feet dangle when I'm working at this table. So that's not good because the pressure on the back of the thigh is messing with the poor circulation of my legs. So for that reason, I can't sit at my desk for any length of time. So for those of you who are waiting on one of my journals of my normal style, I am well over halfway done with one where I had started before my surgery, but then the surgery happened and the blood clot, and things have just kind of derailed me for a little bit, but I'm getting back on track. In the meantime, I've started this project, and like I said, I started filming a video. I was going to do kind of a before and after at that time, a photo album that I bought. I believe it's from the 1800s, late 1800s, and it had pictures in it ranging from like, it looks like probably 1920s. It's hard to tell. Anyway, I'll show you the photo album, but now I say disassembled it, but it was falling apart. I truly, if you know me at all, you know I don't disassemble old things very well. I love to keep things in their original nature. But anyway, I had planned on doing that video of that photo album and then merging it with the completed book, and it just didn't work out because my whole conversation at that time, I had not realized, you know, that I was fixing to have surgery and a blood clot, and my whole conversation and plans just changed. So I didn't go with that video, but this is the photo album, and it is amazing. It had leather, and I was able to salvage enough of the leather. So yeah, the photo album, it was literally falling to pieces, and I mean crumbling like this. Like, let me show you, little pieces of leather were falling off of it. There was no salvaging it for its original purpose. So the best thing I could do for this photo album was to help it go ahead and come apart. I utilized the leather covers that was on this and made, I think I'm going to be able to do 3 journals out of it. I've made one, and I love it. I love it. Y'all, this might be, I truly think this is one of my favorite journals that I've ever made. This journal just fits my character. I just absolutely love this journal. It's not a style that I will forever do. It's just kind of that one-time thing where hopefully, I mean, I talked about this in the other video, and I wasn't going to let myself get sidetracked, but I have bought a lot of leather covers over the past couple of years. This one was so expensive. I think I paid like $50 for this old leather cover right here. But you know, when you get old leather, you're going to pay, you know, there's a price for old leather, but it's so worth it. I mean, the character and personality that, to me, the feel, you cannot duplicate the feel of old leather. So I had bought this one. This was probably my very first one I bought, and I have not made a journal out of it yet. But this photo album, interestingly enough, had the same stitching, like this stitching, I guess, must have been kind of a thing that they did on leather then, and it almost has the same embellished look. Not embellished, like an embossed leather look. I don't know why I say embellished. But anyway, so yeah, I have several leather pieces, covers, whatever you want to call them, that I plan on making journals out of. But then this particular one, I was able to sit in my recliner with my leg extended, because several, you know, a week and a half ago, there was no, all I could do was sit with my leg elevated and extended. Now I'm able to actually come into my workroom and sit, so I was able to work on the pages just a little bit. So I will get back to my normal style pretty quickly. But the photo album, yeah, this is amazing. There's pictures all in here. It looks like this family like went to Egypt at some point. You can see the pyramids behind them. I believe that man right there is the same man that's in this picture here towards the front right here. I believe that's him. I don't know. I mean, there's every now and then you'll find a little bit of like scribbling writing on some of these pages. But yeah, it's just amazing. There's all kind of pictures. It looks like they traveled a lot. So there's pictures that, I guess, of their travels. Let me move that over so you can see that better. But the book itself was falling to pieces, and I wanted to show you, yeah, look at these pictures. They are amazing, amazing. And I have been hoarding this for a long time. I haven't wanted to use it, but you could tell, see, every now and then you can see some writing where they've written in here. But what I was going to show you was, if I can find it, I may have already taken them out because I did use some in this book. But there are actually pictures in here that are so faded that you can't even make them out anymore. Like you can, I mean, like there's one, I think I used it in this journal that I created. But see, look at that. You can just tell this has been like probably, I don't know, water damage, kept in an attic or something. But yeah, the stories this thing could tell, I love it. And I plan on using all of this paper in journals as I create. Even the little photo corners are just so brittle and old and luscious. I love them. Anyway, so yeah, that's kind of where the starting point was. And I had done a video, and I had just really displayed the photo album and talked about what my intentions had been, and now I have completed this and I absolutely love it. I feel like my lighting is creating a glare on the actual leather, but just, yeah, this is a big journal. I tried not, I mean, it's definitely different than anything I've ever made. If I had to compare it to one of my journals in the past, I did it very much in the style of that passport journal I had made, in that I did flips and flaps and all that kind of stuff. But in my mind's eye, this needs to be like a collage journal. So I started collaging in it, and I'll show you the few that I've done. And I'm hoping, like I said, I'm hoping to get 2 more, and I'm going to make them very similar to this one. So I will for sure have at least 1 other one for sale, and maybe 2 other ones for sale. I'm not sure yet how many I will be able to get out of the leather cover. But I did this with I call them book belts. I know other people have made them. First time I'd ever made one was on a journal I made quite a while back, and I just make it so it's removable like that. And I did it in the shape of a cross, and these are the rocks that I was telling y'all I got in one of my other videos. I have a jar of these. I can't remember if I showed the jar, but I had gotten a jar of these, and they have little holes in the rocks where they've been in the water, and the water has worn holes on them. And there's all kind of superstitions behind these rocks of them offering protection and that type of thing, which, you know, well, if you've watched me before, you know where my beliefs lie. But anyway, I absolutely love anything dealing with nature. I think that these are just beautiful, knowing that water is what sculpted the rock. And so yeah, I put one on the front and back of this book band, book sash, whatever you want to call it. Book belt is what I tend to call them. On the inside, I did just layers and layers of different fabrics. You can see I stitched a stick coming down the center. And this is some of the old trim. I'm just about out. Look, this is what I have left. I've already cut off a piece to use for the second journal, but I know I'm going to be able to make, you know, one other one. And then I'll have this piece left in case I'm able to make a third one, but this is it. This is all I have of this old trim. And it's unique. You can't just go buy this stuff. It's old. And it's beautiful. You can see this one little spot of what its original colors had been. That must have been like sandwiched underneath when it was removed. It you know, shows what its original colors had been. So I absolutely love this. And then this material here is one of my absolute favorites that I did on the inside. And it is from 1998, I believe, but this is my last piece of it. I did already cut off a piece to make another one of these for the second book, so that it will be pretty close to being identical. In some respects, I can't do it all identical. There's too many original pieces in it. But anyway, my point is, this is all I have left of this beautiful fabric. It's old. It's let's see, 1998. Yeah, it's just really love it. Love it. Wish I could get my hands on more. I haven't really gone online and searched it out. I need to be using what I have. I have so much amazing cool stuff, and I made myself a promise that I'm going to start using the cool stuff that I have. I've got to start letting go of some of my stuff. I've got so much. And yeah, so I did this velvet trim. Pam had gifted me this. She's just an amazing friend. She gifted me this, and I used pretty much all that she gifted me on this, so I had to go in and order some more, and I absolutely love that. It just goes with the neutral tones so well. And it's like a velour, really cool ribbon. Very, very pretty. So yeah, that's that. And then the actual journal itself, there's strings everywhere. So yeah, the journal itself, this is all leather. This was all falling apart. When I say falling apart, it was literally, I can tell you how many layers were inside of this cover. This is like a satiny fabric that they had here on the inside of the photo album. And so that's like a, I know on camera it's probably coming off looking like it's part of the leather, but it's not. It was like a satiny inside fabric that was on it. There was like a cardboard in between that and the leather, and then there was the leather. And the leather has this kind of embossed pattern on it. It had holes around it with string already, you know, like strung through the holes, but it was like torn and missing pieces. So I had to go in, I called it doing surgery on the book. I had to go in and first of all, I reinforced the edges with pieces of like chipboard. Well, it wasn't as thick as chipboard. It was more like a thick cardstock. I reinforced the edges and then put muslin around it and had to re-punch the holes. And then I had to re-thread the cording. And most of the cording is the original cording that was on the book. So yeah, it was very, see how this one, I don't know how well it shows up on camera, but it has like a brown cording, but yet it's missing some of it. Well, it's got it coming down that edge. Yeah, so see, it's missing some right here and here. This was missing just patches of the cording. So I went through and matched up some cording that I had the best that I could. But again, that's, to me, that's part of the beauty of it, is not matching it perfectly, letting it show its personality. This journal is, like I say, is by far one of my favorites, and I don't know if I don't know if it's going to come across on camera, how beautiful it is in person. And I don't say that in a bragging way. I say it in a very humble way, in fact, because this spoke for itself. All I did was just added some of my neat stuff to it. But yeah, this book spoke for itself. I just used the leather and made my own little creation. The spine of the book was 2¼ inches. I am so sorry if I don't sound like myself. I feel like I'm kind of dragging today. I really am struggling with all this health stuff. It's just out of character for me to be going through all of this. I don't like it. So just, yeah, if I don't sound like myself, I promise I'm okay. I'm doing actually really good. I'm just ready for life to go back to normal. I'm not a good patient. Here on this bottom, you can see just how raggedy that edge is. Beautiful personality. Beautiful personality. The other pieces of the covers have, I'm trying to see if I have them in here. I think I have them in there at my recliner. Has a variation of the tones of brown just from the age of the book. I wish I had it in here so I could show you, but hopefully I will be able to complete it in the next week or so, and I'll film a video of it as well. But anyway, when you open the journal up, this journal just, it opens, it lays wonderfully. It just, I can't explain the feel of this book. It lays, I'm not going to say it lays flat, but yeah, it kind of lays flat. It just really, I love this book. So, yeah, the papers that I used in it, these are some watch crystals. I have this big drawer unit. It has been buried in a guest bedroom. Actually, I had moved it from the guest bedroom into my bedroom, and recently I was working on getting the craft room and guest room organized, so I pulled that out and put it in the guest bedroom, and now I just pulled it back out of the guest bedroom. I couldn't lift it. I had to get my husband to do it, and pulled some of these tabs. These were around watch crystals, and actually, when I got a gift from Corky, and she had sent me some of these little watch crystal envelopes, and that's what reminded me of that drawer unit that I had. It's like a jewelry box size, and I just love these. And when Corky sent me these, I was like, oh, these are amazing. I love these. And yeah, so here's the little tabs that were in there that divides the little envelopes with the watch crystals. And I just used the tabs. I don't know how well it shows on camera, but I used the tabs coming down the edges of the pages, kind of a waterfall look. And I just layered pages, and I did all kind of like I did in my passport journal. I just would add pages as flips like that. Here's a page out of the photo album. I did a whole different process on my coffee dyeing too for the pages that are not old. I coffee dyed these in a whole different way. I've never done it like that before, but again, I've kind of had time on my hands and an inability to stand for long or sit for long. I have to stay reclined. So the way I did the coffee staining on this was just kind of very different for me. It's nothing that I've invented, I'm sure. It's just coffee staining, but it was very different for me, and I love it. I probably will continue to do my coffee staining in that fashion. But yeah, at first I thought it was going to be a lazy way of doing it, but it actually felt like it was more time consuming because I was having to, you know, constantly run and check and rotate and that kind of thing. Anyway, long story. This is a page out of, and I just hinged all kinds of things in this journal, and my hopes are, if I keep it, I'll be hinging a lot more. I mean, this thing is nowhere near full. Nowhere near full. I really want every page collaged on, but if I keep it, that will be my goal. But if it sells, I hope whoever would get the journal would do that. To me, like, I went through and collaged just to kind of get started on some of it. I did several collages throughout the book. I think 3. One's kind of a simplistic one. But anyway, yeah, I just hinged all kind of papers. Like, this is a little calendar page like that. Oh, am I out of frame? Let's try this. There we go. Like that. And I just hinged that on. And there's another one of the tabs. And then this is the spine of a book. It's where the book was originally done with like string binding, and so the strings just held on when I tore the book apart, and so I thought that was a really cool look, so I kept that on there. I should also mention that all of the pages in this book is hinged with fabric to help with the integrity. Again, my thoughts of this journal had been to collage everything, and I know collages can add weight to pages, and so I kind of reinforced every page with fabric. So yeah, you'll see fabric coming down the center all throughout this book, because yeah, I reinforced every page with fabric so that it could handle the weight of a collage. Like for me, I use glass and metal and just whatever, you know, appeals to me, I use it in my collages. So a collage can get very heavy quickly. So yeah, I reinforced all the pages with fabric, including this one. So yeah, on this, let me show you this little ticket there. It's just hinged onto the side. And then on this, I try to put little tickets and tabs everywhere just to add visual interest. And I used one of the rusty paper clips and just put some papers there. My thought on that was, I mean, honestly, when I did that, I didn't want to hinge onto this page because I thought this would be a beautiful page to do a collage on. But at the same time, it needed something. And to me, you want to have stuff throughout here so that when you're collaging, you can pull something and use it in the collage. So I just did a paper clip and put that on like that. And yeah, all of these pages are hinged with fabric. Corky sent me this, and she did one and she covered all of this, but I left it kind of just original. If I keep it, I probably will leave it original, to be honest, but I do love the way she collaged her, so who knows, I might collage it, but I think it's a neat place to do some hidden journaling. I don't journal a lot, but I love writing sometimes verses, sometimes lyrics to like Christian songs appeal to me and inspire me, not in an artistic way necessarily, just in a spiritual way. So I love writing like lyrics to songs or just anything that makes me feel good, whether it's out of a book, a quote from a book, or what. But that's usually what I tend to write in my journals. And so that's something else that, you know, I would use this for. But mostly I kind of visualize collaging. On this side, I kind of cascaded, I should say, I cascaded some stamps, some really old stamps coming down all of these pages. Let me see if I can hold that up so you can see. And I am going to try to really speed through this. I don't need to be on my feet much longer, and I am standing on my feet right now. But yeah, these are just all pages that have been hinged on to this original page in the book. I say original page, none of the pages are technically original. I've created the book, but you know what I'm saying. So this was one of the installed pages in the book, and then I've hinged this whole thing onto it. And then over here, I just clipped a little random paper pad. Again, I think of these papers being torn off and used to collage with. I think most of these papers Corky sent to me, or Dee. This is from 1928. Love that. But yeah, I just put, and then I used a piece of that velvety ribbon off of the, there we go, see, off of that. I used a piece there and just kind of stitched zigzaggy across that. And I'm just attaching that to this page so that somebody can just pull and use the pieces. And then little tab there, and that's just attached. And again, it's all got the fabric hinges. I did not hang anything from the centers of the signatures, and you know me, normally I do. The reason I did not is because I didn't put fabric coming down the edges. I didn't put bling on the signatures, centers of the signatures. I wanted the old paper to just kind of speak for itself. I don't know how well this stuff shows up, but to me, that's the look that's needed. So this is just old papers. I didn't do a lot of fabrics. Again, I wish I had the other one that I was working on in here, because I would show you one little thing of fabric. Oh, I do, I found it. Okay, so see on this one, you'll see that I put this one little piece coming down here, and I already have the stuff laid out to do a collage that's going to help tie that together. But that's probably all the fabric I'll put on that one. And what was the other thing I was going to show you on this? I can't remember now. It seems like there was something else I was going to show you on that. But anyway, that's where I've started the other one. This is where I've started the book wrap. You'll see I did have some of the yellow. And oh, I remember I was showing the difference in the leather. See, you can tell that there's a difference in the coloration of the leather. It was just how it faded on some areas. I guess they probably had books stacked on it, and different areas were covered from the sun and protected from the sun. Yeah, it's that original photo album definitely had a story to tell for sure. So on this collage, I used the glass with I put the glue around the edge of the glass so that it wouldn't cut anyone. And then I tied that on and just did a whole collage on this page. And honestly, this could hold pencils or anything, but for me, I don't have my reading glasses on my head, but I do have a pair here laying on my desk. But see, this to me is just perfect for a pair of glasses to go in. And I mean, this book will handle it. That's what I'm saying. It's just flexible. It will handle it. This book is nowhere near being filled up. So that's kind of what I would use that for, but not everyone has the need for readers, so anything could go in there. A ruler, tape measure, whatever. Anyway, there's a little metal bling there, and a little wax seal with a dragonfly on it, and a beautiful picture of this woman. This should be removable, but see, you can slide it out and change that out, but I do have that glass secured down pretty tight. So anyway, so that's that. And then I'm trying to, there's plenty of space in between the signatures, not so much in the other one that I'm making, but I did that so that you can, as you fill these up with collages and these pages start to bulk out, there's room to do that. I put one of the little really neat bottle caps from Corky right there. And then just more random papers with the fabric coming down them. Oh, and then here, what I did was, so you'll see back here, there's going to be like a whole stack of notebook paper, see? Coffee stain notebook paper. And I folded the edges over and used those to attach things in so that you can just go in and attach. So see, I attached a ledger paper here that folds out. Here I attached one of those receipts that has the really cool front that I think Corky sent me. So see, I did it like that. And so let me see if I can show you in the other journal what I'm talking about with that. So yeah, let me see if I can find one. Right here. See, there's a whole bunch of, and they all have fabric to keep them sturdy and strong, but just a whole bunch of pieces of notebook where I folded the notebook paper in a way that it has these extra pieces that you can then go in and, see, I plan on attaching this one here. So you can just go in and attach it to this paper, and then that secures it into the book. I hope that makes sense, but yeah, that's what I did on a lot of these here. And then this is one of the pages out of the original photo album. Again, I didn't put anything on these centers. You can. I mean, I didn't cut them off just in case if anyone purchases this one, they can go in and add something to the center. And this is one of the old zipper pulls right there. Let me see if I can hold it up so that you can see. It's just a really cool one, and I just secured it on with, I punched holes there because there's a collage on the other side. and I put some rusty washers around there and one of the tabs from the watch crystals, and then I did a collage here, and I did a kind of an odd punch of color, and in person it just, I don't know, maybe it looks great on camera too, but in person it just really pulls this vibrancy through all this monotoned journal. Every now and then you just want that pop of color. So I did just a bunch of fabrics and laces right there. Again, I didn't want them to show from the outside of the journal. Here's a little golden key, and that's where I did those 2 holes with the washers on the other side with that zipper pull. And on this side I put this little golden, I think that's a lamp key. I love this image. This is one of my all-time favorite images. This is from an old postcard. Can't remember what, I think it was called, I don't remember the name of it. But to me, it actually looks sad, and I think it's called The Wedding or something. Can't remember, but it's actually not supposed to be sad, but to me it almost looks like he's comforting her. But the name of it I can't remember right now, but it was actually not a sad name. But anyway, I think it's just such a sweet image. And here's one of the watch crystal envelopes. Now this is one of the ones that Corky sent me that I was just holding up, that little stack. Inside of this I put a penny that has a cross stamped out of it. Does that show up? And then I just put that inside of there. One of the old prescriptions. This is like a gold pen. Hold that up so you can see. And I just did kind of a quilting of some felt back behind that, and then a black frame around it. This is a leaf. Let me hold it up. This is a leaf, and I've put it on top of some of the brown paper with inks and stuff all over it, and I've stitched around the leaf and put some of this like wax paper over it to protect it. And here is one of the pictures out of the photo album. So that okay, so look at this. I think this is so cool. You cannot really make out the picture anymore, but look right there. You can see a man standing in a doorway. Is that not awesome? I mean, just imagine what he was looking at. Imagine that time period. Imagine his life. I mean, just for something like this, the story that it has, and to now be using it. I mean, you know, that man never imagined that 100 years later somebody would be using that picture so randomly. It was just, I don't know. My brain does that sometimes, thinks about, you know, outside the box a little bit. This is a piece of the paper where we can go in and attach something. This is where I did attach something. I attached one of these hosiery envelopes with one of the tabs there. Inside of the envelope, adjust it down a little bit. So inside of the envelope, I made this little thing out of an old box. It's a stationery box. And you can slide something inside of it. I'm thinking maybe an old envelope or something. And then this was off of a bird guide box. So this was a box with a booklet about birds inside of it. And then this was a stationery box. So I just kind of crushed them both down and stitched them together. And I did leave the top open to where something could be slid in there. To me, I'm thinking probably an envelope or something with an old address, you know, written on it, could be slid in there so that the address shows through and make it look kind of like an envelope. I think that would be pretty. But, you know, it's up to whoever gets the journal. Anything at all goes. And then I just slid that in there. That gives the this little bag or envelope stability. And then I clipped it on the top to keep that held into place. Just more papers. I tell you what, if anyone did journal, this would have so much journaling space. This is like the most paper, and I did try to use paper that had lines. I just thought that was really cool. Here is more of the notebook paper, and then here is a collage I did, and I wanted this collage to be so simple. I wanted this to speak for itself. I just wanted this to pop, and I played around with other, before I fixed everything down. I played around with doing all kind of laces and, really embellishing it heavily. And everything just seemed to take away from the cross, and I did not want that. I just wanted this to be very simplistic. I wanted it to look old, like something somebody did in the 1800s. I just wanted it to look, I did some little hand stitching, messy stitching around it. I don't think I've ever did so much hand stitching in my life. You guys, I don't normally do that. That's not my thing. I'm not gifted in that way. I wish that I was. But these things here, since all I could do was sit in a recliner, I tried. And at first, when I started it, I had to do away with that one. I didn't like it. But I started doing it like a circle circle working its way out. But it looked too patterned, or too, I wanted it to look haphazard. I wanted it to look old and like somebody just threw it together kind of thing. So yeah, I used a different fabric initially. It wasn't this yellow. I'm trying to see if I see the one that I started on laying here. But anyway, so yeah, I started doing a circle that spanned out. And I think I got about as far as here, and it just looked too, I mean, obviously my stitches are not perfect in any way, so I'm not going to say it looked like a machine did it, but it just looked too patterned, and I didn't want patterned. I wanted it to look raw and homemade, I guess is the word. So anyway, so yeah, I've never done, my point to that is I have never done so much stitching in my life, and I am not good at it, and so my fingers were raw. They're back to normal now because I finished this, gosh, I did this one and the other one probably, I don't know, maybe a week ago, and I've been able to start getting up and moving about much better. So anyway, my fingers are just getting back to normal, but I should have probably had thimbles on every single finger, not to mention I'm on so much blood thinners, and I would stick myself and then I'd have to immediately, because I didn't want it to get on anything, because I'm using all neutrals and light colors. So yeah, I would have to like literally, it was just funny. That's not my thing. Anyway, okay, so this is the end of the journal. I used, Corky sent me this one also. I feel like I used a lot of Corky stuff on this, I guess because it was laying on my desk when I couldn't really work at my desk. So when I started creating this part of it, I was using what was laying right there, because I was having to grab it and go to the recliner, grab it and go to the recliner. So yeah, this is something Corky sent me also, and it is the coolest ledger page with all this stuff still attached, and I was not about to take any of that off. I left it all just like it is, like everything's still on there just like it came, and I just kind of folded it up so that it was all part of this journal, and it is just, I love it. I love it. So yeah, this journal, again, I feel like it sounds like I'm being boastful, and I'm not. I just felt like everything spoke to me with this. Maybe it was this was needing to create, and I really had a lot of fun with this journal. I didn't only have a lot of fun. I kind of just discovered a lot of stuff about my thought process and my ways of doing things that brought me comfort and peace. I started recognizing the peace that this brings me, and I'm so thankful for that. So anyway, yeah, if you're interested in this, I'm not going to post it on Etsy. This is one of those that if you're interested, you can email me. I'm not going to go by the list on this one, guys. If you're on my list, I'm not doing that. This is not the style of journals I normally make, and yeah, I'm not going to do that. When I get back to making, like I said, I'm probably halfway done with one of the other styles I used to make. I'm hopefully going to get back to that real soon. But anyway, so that requires me to sit here at this desk for hours and hours on end. and I can't do that style in a recliner. But anyway, oh yeah, look at the little stitches on this black ribbon. That shows from the outside of the journal too. So yeah, but anyway, yeah, so if you're interested, email me. Is Tonya C. I'm sorry, give me my whole name. That's not good. Oh my goodness, I was about to give my private email. The Scribbles in Time. Y'all can tell I'm not myself. I'm really tired. Plus, I've been standing now. It's 40 minutes. Oh my God. Okay, so yeah, I've got to get off my feet. And yeah, scribblesintime@gmail.com. And please comment below. It really encourages me. I usually watch most of the stuff on, especially now that I'm having to live in a recliner. I watch it on TV. I watch y'all's videos on TV, and so I can't really comment like I would like to, and I'm going to get better at that because I'm going to start doing more and more online stuff. Yeah, I'm getting myself back on track. I'm working on it. But anyway, I love you all very much. Y'all have encouraged me so much, and so many of you have reached out to me, wishing me well, telling me that you're praying for me. I can't tell you how much that humbles me. I really, really do care about all of you. The ones that comment all the time, I just truly recognize your names. I hope that y'all are all doing well, and I hope to hear from you, and y'all all have a blessed day. Give me a thumbs up if you like the video, and check me out on Instagram. Love to you all.